Grace and peace, y'all. I'm on my lunchtime special. Of course, those guys are downstairs eating, doing whatever they're doing out in the front. It looks like the weather's getting warmer. Oh, do me a favor, just type one as y'all are coming in. Are y'all coming in the room? Of course, I've been dropping a couple of different videos, and it looks like a lot of to some people, it looks like a lot of the videos that I drop are anti-Christian. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It looks like a lot of the videos that I drop are anti-Christian, and people get offended. People get offended. And, a lot of pastors, a lot of people don't know, why I do what I do and how I'm doing what I'm doing. Two times in a day, yeah, I'm breaking free. Yeah, I'm breaking free. Some people hit me and they start talking about, because people get offended and they hate when they bang on the church. And I am a troublemaker. I have to admit that I'm a troublemaker. I said that to somebody in the class when we were on the Zoom the other day. And I said, I don't, and the sister said, no. She said, no, you are. She said, you are. You just have to accept it. I'm a troublemaker. I think, being involved in apologetics in the church and stuff like that, there's some things that these people don't want you to know. We got too many pastors with too many degrees out here that one, they don't see it beneficial. A lot of people don't look at it beneficially to discuss certain things. When we're dealing with religion, a lot of us want to leave, a lot of teachers want to leave y'all up in the heavens. They want to leave y'all in the heavens. Then we have the mystics that say y'all belong in the heavens. But I think when we make claims about Christianity, Christianity is locked in a specific time. If we said Christ came and Christ was a physical man, we have to lock into a specific time. And people have problems with that because they say there's an occult element, there's a spiritual element. But Christianity, like different religions, Christianity is locked into a specific time that a man came, died, and arose again from the dead, and he was the promised Messiah of Israel. This is not spiritual. It is spiritual stuff, but at the same time, it happened in historical events in a historical place on this planet. And because of that, we have some confusion, and a lot of people don't want to go in. On the occult side of things, when we start talking about the occult side of things, y'all know that I've been on my rant. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing inside of the church. I can't help myself. I'm a troublemaker. Inside of the church that a lot of people don't know because they haven't studied the occult, that is occultish. And it's crept in there because they gave us a worldliness crept inside among us. And remember, God's people were worldly in the foot of Mount Sinai. As soon as they couldn't find Moses, they wanted to go back to what they knew, make us gods. And I've been talking about this in other videos. But when we start dealing with certain things, we have to understand that we do things. Where my Pentecostal people at? I'm looking for my Pentecostal people. I say, Pastor Mike, I'm looking for my Pentecostal charismatic. Because back before, we said they ain't had the Holy Ghost. It's me and my Kojic friend and all and the Assembly of God for all the Pentecostal, my oneness, PAW, all my Pentecostals come in. I want to ask y'all, why do y'all charge the atmosphere? Prayer, worship, praise, worshipers coming out. We're going to charge the atmosphere. Why do y'all set the atmosphere and why do y'all charge the atmosphere? Because these are terms that we use in the certain Christian circles. We charge in the atmosphere, we call in the spirit, and then we got scriptures because we proof text. Like I said, we'll run to where Solomon was in Chronicles, and he prayed, and the glory came in the temple. Then we get Shekinah, and we bring them, and when the glory is here, that's when we can do things. That's like what occultists would call conjuring up the spirit. We're calling forth the entities. We think we could. This is where the confusion comes in. We think we could conjure God. And then when God come, when the glory come, what do y'all mean when the glory come? When the glory come, that's when y'all can begin to decree and demand in that atmosphere. It ain't nothing but conjuring. It ain't nothing but conjuring. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this, but these are things that we often practice within the church. These are some. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody walked in, so you might hear a little in the background. But this is what we call conjuring and calling forth spirits. And then when you call forth the spirit, because remember, the God of the Bible, it's not like the Lord's Prayer. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. No, when we call forth this new spirit, that I'm doing something. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm writing the New Age church. I'm getting on some other stuff. An elder sent me a video amping me. So when we start dealing with this spiritual thing, we think God is the genie. We can call him forth and make the cloud come, and we can do what we want. What we going to make him do whatever we want. Bring me a car, bring me a wife, bring me a house, bring me some money. And that's how they do when they conjure the spirits forth and they laying out the pentagram. This is what they do when they conjure. This is magic. The church done turned into magic. We're into magic. Call it what y'all want to call it, but we're into magic, and we think the God of the Bible, got to do what we tell him to do. That's how come when I started reading that book, I said these people confused. They try to confuse us. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of countries when we're reading the Bible and people trying to understand prophetic and prophecy and stuff like that. When we do certain things, we have some places we got to look at and we got to remember in that Bible. We got to look at Egypt. We got to look at Babylon, and we got to look at Rome. Them three places, because God's people were there. Egypt, Babylon, and Rome. And why do we have to look at them? Why is Egypt, Babylon, and Rome, why are they so important? They're important because God's people were in bondage there 3 different times. And the most recent bondage, when we start talking about Rome, people don't want to, a lot of people get confused and they want to talk about Constantine and the Christmas tree and Rome and this and that. But nobody wants to give the whole history about Rome. Nobody wants to break it down because Rome earlier were the people that persecuted God's people. When Jesus came on the set, Rome was the thing. So and there were kings, there were people that were underneath the rulership of Rome, and they just wanted the nation of Israel. They were being oppressed, but they had their own freedom. They were the Sadducees. So they were leaders, but they had their own freedom. And then the rulers of the temple and the Pharisees were the orthodox people controlling controlling Torah, and they had scribes. Those were the copyists. But these people here, they still weren't controlling their land. Rome was controlling their land. That's like I said, we got to get back into the history with Persia, Alexander the Great coming on the scene, Septuagint, the building of the temple, of the library in Alexandria, to really go through it. We got to get the history because this is our history. It's a spiritual thing, but this is our history, and we got to make it plain what's been going on. All these preachers, all these apologists, ain't nobody online teaching the whole thing. Even when we see the conscious community and other people are wrong and Israelite camps are wrong, talking about when the Christmas tree came, but nobody wants to talk about Rome and how Rome was a secular nation and they had their gods, but when they couldn't destroy the faith, or when they couldn't destroy the way, when they couldn't destroy this movement that later on is known as Christianity, but it was originally the Israelite faith. And Jesus was just another one of the rabbis, another Messiah figure that came on the scene because there were a few of them in early Israel, in the early 1st century. So this is all it is, but we're not explaining some things and how Rome was attempting to destroy them. Israel wanted to buck back. Then you know what happened in 70 AD with Titus and the whole history and everything. You understand all of that. I'm talking about after, in the 1st century, and the beginning, early 2nd century, Josephus, 132, 135, and when everything jumped off. We don't explain that history that Rome was trying to destroy God's people. But after Rome see that they couldn't destroy God's people, they said, we're going to take over this religion. And the takeover is what I want to talk about today. People are confused because the takeover is where all of the stuff jumped off. That's where everything jumped off. And then we're wondering now how Bishop Ellis and all of them got these bishops running around dressing like the Pope. But we don't want to talk about the Jesuits. We don't want to talk about Rome and the spirit of Rome and how they took over the spirit and brought certain things into the religion. They said if we can't stamp this thing out, the best thing to do is control it. We're going to make the bootleg. That real Apple Watch came out first, but I'm looking on OfferUp. They got some watches out here looking, y'all on Facebook. They got some watches look like the Series 5. It looked like that Apple Watch for $4.99, but it ain't. It's only $59. But it looked the same. It's a heartbeat thing. It can track your heart. It can track it can accept phone calls. And it looked like that $500 watch, but it's a $59 watch. So looks can be deceiving. So all people can look and do is look and say they see certain things. They see a pope and they see symbols and they see signs, but they don't know the history, and nobody's teaching the history. And then the guys start bringing up history and start talking about stuff. And notice, anytime some preachers get offended with history, we got a problem. Either they hiding something, they don't know something, they're hiding something, or we got some Masonic, we got some occultic, we got some underground secret society nonsense going on here. It could be. I'm just saying it could be. That's all I'm saying. Where are our teachers? All these MDivs, all you people with degrees, come out and teach the history of Rome, how it split, what went down. Teach us that. What went down. They don't want it. What they got to hide? If it's the true religion from Jesus, I said Jesus in heaven. If it's the true religion that came down from above, if it's the true religion, give us the bed we want it. We don't know nothing. Y'all got degrees. Come and give it to us. Straighten us out as a people. Maybe, just maybe, oh, you into the conspiracy theories, and wait a minute, no, because when I look at Rome, when I look at the Vatican, when I look at the good Christian nations of Europe, I see the signs, I see the symbols from Kemet and from Babylon. And I see elements of what they told me was devil worship and Jewish Kabbalah. Because remember, y'all prayed that the glory come. Could it be that they'll put witchcraft on us? Could it be this is a Jedi mind trick? I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's what it is, because it might start opening up questions that they can't. I hate when them people come in here. But that's a good point. And then when you start getting around people that start saying certain things and answering certain questions and pointing at certain signs and gargoyles and obelisks, and why is that here? Where does that come from? What part of the game is that? Just look at pictures of the Vatican, Elder Johnson. What part of the game is these gargoyles? Where some of this stuff come from? And now you're a troublemaker. I'm getting ready to get put out. They're going to put me out. I'm going to get put out. It's official. I'm going to be back in the Airbnbs. I already know it, Mello. I already know it. I said we're going to share some things. I was like, no, you can't. You just be you. And then I started writing, and I'm like, just turn the video on and just give them a glimpse. That's all we got to just talk about, a glimpse of it. Well, what part of the game? This is the thing. What part of the game is this? And the thing that hurts me, Miss B, they think they can play us. Oh, well, I'm bishop. I'm the archbishop. I'm the superintendent. I'm the district. Shut up. Say, we've been going for that a long time, but now I'm around the younger folk. They ignorant. They don't care about you, the superintendent. They don't even know what the superintendent is for the coaching for this district. They don't even know what that is. And the first thing the other ill apostolic people, they say, where that's at, nobody. I hate the people I'm around. I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to do it the old way. I'm too old for this to be part of this other stuff y'all doing. They say, well, listen, just show us in the Bible. That's when they don't want to be disrespectful, but on the low, they disrespecting you. They say, just show us in the Bible. So now we got young folk trying to piece it together, but they know. Like, you know how we used to play that game, and they used to have the candy over there. It's like, oh, you getting hot. Where the remote at? You getting hot. Stop playing. Where the remote at? A lot of the young folk they know it's something by that Christmas tree. They know it's something jumping over Rome. They know it's something with Nicaea. They know it's something with Constantine, but they just can't put it together. Now we saying Socrates, we saying Eusebius, we talking about, but we ain't breaking it down for. It's an ignorant spirit on me telling me to break it down. And I got friends and my friends are squares. I love y'all, my Prince Hall people. I love everybody. I don't want no beef with nobody. But at the same time, when this stuff calls for beef. Jesus said, I kind of bring up, this thing is like a sword. It's going to be, there's no way to say, somebody put that, and then when the Megan folks start coming around, somebody type that. When you try to please everybody, sometimes you please nobody. Some old slick talker put that in the comment section the other day. But in all actuality, that's the truth. It's hard, y'all. It's hard, y'all, because the whole truth is going to bother some people. You need some wings and coffee. Thank you, Mello. I appreciate it. I let them guys go down there. They in the cafeteria. They went down there to what you go. But I said, no, I'm going to get up here and talk. One brother just came in. But I said, I'm going to get up in here and talk because we got to put this out. So this is going to be part one. This is part one. Why do I say keep an eye on Egypt, on Babylon, and on Rome? Because those are the enemies of Yah in the Bible. Egypt, ain't nothing good coming up out of Egypt. Ain't nothing good coming up out of Babylon, and I hate to offend y'all, because Father G, y'all know how the Catholic demons my peace, but ain't nothing good coming up out of Rome. No, the spirituality of y'all ain't coming from Rome. Rome ain't got, listen, I know they dressing up and they got them big crosses, and y'all love Mary, and all my Latin people, they done ran up on y'all and gave y'all all them images, and y'all love them Christ, y'all love them Marys, y'all love them Michelangelos, y'all love all that stuff. And y'all got them folk rich. That's how they got these big synagogues and cathedrals, and they used the Freemasons. They got the stone builders. They did what they did, but it's something that ain't right that's coming up out of there, and we don't want to talk about it. And the Protestant church don't want to talk about it because I'm scared that the Protestant church is under the authority of Rome. Now, we was a little bit free, but the College of the Bishops and all them people, they trying to get us dressing and looking and doing stuff, and they making some moves on us. They making some moves on us, and the moves ain't right. They busy saying, stop worried about the tree, but they constantly giving us and doing esoteric stuff. Remember calling down the Spirit, calling down the glory, or setting the atmosphere, and that's largely Pentecostal charismatic. So I told y'all, be careful with these. Oh, be careful. The religious devils is the worst ones because they work the magic. They work the finesse on y'all. Oh, don't go. They said they got y'all worried about them drug dealers out there busting their gun. It's easier to get caught up into the religious devils than get hit by a stray bullet from some drug dealers. I'm going to keep it 100. Let these other dudes go run make a video on that. I hate talking like this because it don't sound like Jesus talk. I gotta talk Jesus talk, and they getting offended. They say that's not Jesus talk. I want to talk Jesus talk. If something telling me keep got me doing this because I want to talk Jesus talk. I want to talk Jesus talk in my heart. Why you want to go to a Bible school when they teaching? Who is this now? Who put them numbers in there? That's how I know when I get the ignorant folk. They just put numbers up in there. They just get putting numbers up in there. I'm figuring there's somewhere that some folk gonna teach something right. Every organization, every church, every movement isn't wrong, but there's an influence behind the scenes. And it's worked by propaganda. It's worked by some things. So then we start taking things. That's how come we all gotta crack the that's what Martin Luther and them wanted. We all gotta crack the Bible open. What do they mean his glory? When the glory come, what's the purpose of the glory? To start decreeing and naming it. What's the purpose of the glory? So we got to look in the book and understand what's the purpose of these symbols. What's the purpose of the stuff? Because they tell me subconsciously you can look at a symbol and you can look at certain things and it'll get down in your subconscious. Do they study the subconscious, the superconscious, higher self, and all this extra stuff they giving us? Is it really the occult doctrine coming down from Mesopotamia, coming down from Kemet? Is it really that, like I said, they're studying and they're working on the people and they're giving us the outer core? These people, I'm going to tell y'all what right now, they say the two shall become one. There's a move with the occult doctrine to bring in or bring up. First of all, the occultists all over the world, many people claim, in Babylon, in Egypt, in Rome, all of the occultists, Mithra, all of the occultists, all of the pagan schools of thought was to develop man into God. So all of the people that practiced different things like Halloween, all of the occultics, all of the mystics all over the world, they said the two shall become, we shall, like Jesus prayed to the Father, I want to become one with you. They're thinking that the occultists who've been ruling the regular religion, you lay people, that they're going to bring everything together. And the last ultimate move was to finally bring Christianity and 2.3 billion people on the planet, bring them into this higher consciousness, bring them into that. Because if they stay dealing with the lower doctrine, believing in the literal Lamb of God that's going to take away the sins of you don't have no sin. So now you don't have no sin. And Bishop Spung and all of them that come up out of the church, Bishop Spung telling you there is no hell. All of that's make-believe. We're just giving you all that. So now they moving us into the next level of it, that you're God's and you can declare and set forth whatever you want. Do what thou will. That's the whole of the law. I'm going to show y'all how it mingles later on. Because these are some things that we got to look at. How else is it mingling? How else is the religion coming together? How are they turning us believers towards the occult and the occult doctrine? There is no hell. Do what you want. It's a spiritual reality, mental. They are not, but plain and simple, mellow. Plain and simple, they're not. But they're the rulers. There are a lot of them are teachers. And I'm not saying seminary is bad, but it's a lot of them that's Christian philosophical thinkers, and they're going to steer Christianity a certain way. They'll steer us a certain way by donating to seminaries and setting professors in place, doubting the book, and say they hold in the book, but they doubt in the book at the same time. That's when Christ was talking to them seminarian people. He said, you do ear and don't even know the power of God. Y'all don't know. Y'all think y'all got it. Y'all dressed up like you know how the bishops and all of them, y'all dressed all up. Oh, y'all dressed all up and y'all quoting that book, but y'all taking that thing and doing what y'all want. And telling the lower people, don't worry about it. This is the way. Jesus said, y'all blocking the doors of the kingdom. And Jesus came doing something else. And then after the time Constantine is a pivotal moment. Because they stopped persecuting people and they lift the ban. So to become a bishop is a good thing now. They want to run like people were running for office. They started doing doctrines of men. Come on here, Obadiah, doctrines of men. And they started giving us some doctrines. Man-made doctrines of flesh. And man-made doctrine is that you're God, you God, our God, we all God. And that God doctrine is coming together. And that God doctrine is stripping down biblical doctrine and putting something else in the place of it. They're not taking nothing from you. That's what y'all don't understand. The remix ain't to take nothing from you. The remix is to flip it. We confused about the remix. We confused about what the remix is, and this is kind of where the problem comes in. Somebody put the time up there. Oh, somebody put the time up there. We got We got to figure this thing out. I need some coffee. I got another class. But while staying there in class, I'm listening to them, but they don't know I'm off in the corner. I'm doing something else. I'm doing something else, but I'm okay. Oh, I got a couple of minutes. So we have to remember that when we start talking about Rome, we start talking about Babylon, because God's people got to be careful. God will say, "Come out from among them, be ye separate." And we got to always understand it, that we had time. We were there. We were in Kemet when everything was going on. And Kemet was the greatest place, like we're in America, the greatest place on the face of the earth, but still God's people. Among all the mist, among all the sorcerers, among all of the stuff. Don't forget, it's always close. When Moses was in there, and Moses went in there and he threw down his rod, what they did? They was like, "Oh, please." He said, call the priest of the order. And then priests came out and they threw their rods down too. Like, wait, boy, you ain't doing nothing. We deal with that realm. We deal with that realm. And they're showing us the same thing right now. So word of knowledge, prophecy, and all that stuff is they looking and smiling like, boy, this what we do. We prophesy, we astral project, we'll see what's in your house, we'll speak that word, and we'll do what you do. And they did the same things. People say later on, God's people even got it to the point, the years that they spent in Babylonian captivity, that they picked up some more of it. But that's not even where the problem is. That's not where the problem is. I'm going to tell y'all the two places where the problem really came in. After Ezra and them came out and they wanted to straighten out some things, we had people that were part of different orders that came on the scene later on, and that was a major shift. Now, I'm not going to tell you folk, listen to me. I'm not here to tell you, oh man, I appreciate you, Parker. I'm going to hit you. I just looked on my other phone a few seconds ago, man. I appreciate you. We're going to get you on if you want to talk about, the past. I don't know how far you want to go into with the ministry and stuff like that, but he might, if he do, y'all going to hear some stuff. That's my man. I'm going to bring him on. We've been chopping it up. But something happened. Now, I don't want Israel, I know Israel up in here, and I don't want them to start bothering me, but I have to confess as a former, I want to confess that something happened in the intertestamental period. Something happened. Somebody got a hand on it. But I was in the Masonic cult. He said, Brother Berean. He said, oh, okay. He said, I was in the Masonic cult 33rd degree until I came into the real light. Only one worshipful master, and that's Christ. You better know it. Something happened during the intertestamental period. That's when we see religious authority come up on another level, and they had books. They had traditions, and part of their traditions were other stuff. And we all do. It's just other stuff. Taylor, good to see you. Thank you in that super chat. Oh, we need you and a few of them thumpers on, because I got questions for the charismatic people that I'm going to ask publicly in front of everybody, because I'm down with that. That's like I mentioned Blavatsky and everything else. But at the close of Malachi, we often, every Bible school seminary, we teach there's a 400-year gap between the close of Malachi and what happened with, by the time John the Baptist come on the scene. We have Essenes, we have Sadducees, we have Pharisees, Cleopatra came on the scene, Mark Antony, a whole bunch of history went down in 400 years. But when Malachi closed, we don't see no Pharisees, but then by the time John the Baptist come on the scene, we see a strong group of religious leaders known as Pharisees, and something dangerous happened in there with people, culture, but mostly spirituality. Something spiritual took place, and it went to a next level by the time we got to Constantine and Nicaea. So the most dangerous part is in the intertestamental period. Of course, Israel, y'all gonna take it and run amok. That's why King James and they took the Apocrypha, and they took them books out for the second Magnus. I'm not even going against all my peeps. I'm not going against them. They said condemn that Apocrypha. I gotta condemn it. I could ask them, well, why y'all? Well, let's just explain to the people why we condemn it. We condemn it and we don't read it in the churches, and I understand why. They say it's contradictions in the Apocrypha, but you don't know. I don't know. Some people argue it's contradiction. I don't even want to talk about it. I can't go too far. Y'all know I'm just coming out. I'm scared still, but I'm going to say some things. I'm scared still, but I'm going to say some things. It's a crazy time. That's all I can say. That Maccabean period, Judith Maccabee and all of them, all that period, that 400 years where they said God wasn't speaking at all. If there was no prophet, God wasn't speaking. None of those books are holy. But could it be something there that we have to do? I'm quiet on that. And then something jumped off after Constantine. A lot of y'all looking at the Christmas tree and Easter egg and all of that stuff, and y'all hot. Y'all hot. I'm telling y'all hot right now, but it's a little deeper than that. But the one question that we would throw out today is why all of the pastors with degrees, with MDiv, why all the pastors don't want to come and just talk regular, plain history, no hooping, no hollering, no offering, just talk history from the time of Constantine, the Great Schism, just give us plain, straight history. And it could be because I hate to even. I don't even know what I'm saying. All right, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I need coffee. I don't know what I'm. Backtrack. That's the only thing with going live. When you go live, it's already out there. I'm like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm trying to say a lot, but not saying too much. But it's a lot going on. All right, y'all. We're gonna jump on later on. Appreciate y'all. I'm getting out of here.